Okay, let's kick things off. So welcome everyone. Great to have you with us. Today really is a big one for us at BoardPro. We're officially introducing AI Assistant, a feature we've been building toward for some time, hotly anticipated by all accounts, and one that we really think changes what's possible inside your board portal. So today you're going to hear from some of the team. You'll see the thinking behind it. You'll see a demo, and you'll leave knowing exactly how you can get started. So, firstly, thanks for attending today. We really appreciate the effort you've made to be here. And during the session, I've just pointed you to the chat box. But if you see that there actually be a little Q&A button at the bottom of your screen too. So if you've got questions throughout, please don't be afraid to put them in there, and we'll answer them throughout and in a Q&A session at the end. And finally, if you stay to the end, which we really hope you'll do, we've got a special treat. By answering our 1-minute survey at the end of the webinar, you'll go in the draw to win a beautiful gift hamper worth over $400. So just quickly, for those of you who don't know BoardPro, we're a board software provider that serves over 35,000 users around the world, as evidenced from the chat before. And we enable organizations to run effective board meetings with less effort and significantly better outcomes for their stakeholders. Part of that wider mission is to make the fundamentals of governance free and easy to implement for all organizations, especially those with resource constraints. So we provide access to templates, guides, and resources, all of which you'll find on the BoardPro website in the Resource Center. And of course, there are webinars like these ones, which we run every week and are a great way to access key governance knowledge without the time commitment and costs typically associated with in-person events. So for the next wee while, just sit back, relax, add to this discussion by dropping questions in the Q&A box. And the full recording of the webinar along with the slide deck will be sent to you 24 hours after our session today. So we'll start with some introductions. I'm David. I'm on the product team here at BoardPro, joined by some of my colleagues. We're also joined by a very special guest today, Helen Van Orton. Helen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, David. Kia ora, everyone. I'm Helen Van Orton. I am an experienced chair and professional director. I also run Directly, which is a training company that specialises in supporting boards and exec teams in their AI governance journey. So translating a lot of the myths and mysteries around AI into practical boardroom friendly and boardroom safe guides for being able to implement it within your organisation. Thanks, David.
Right, thanks so much. Penny?
Oh, tēnā koutou, ko Penny tōku ingoa. I'm Penny and I'm the head of product here at BoardPro.
And finally, Eugene.
Hey everyone, my name's Eugene. I look after the technology function at BoardPro and I've been here about 4 years now.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, so today we'll start by hearing from Penny, the broader approach to AI at BoardPro, how we think about it, what guided some of our decisions with creating it. Helen's then going to give us a view from inside the boardroom, obviously a very contentious topic right now, and she'll share that director's perspective on where AI can genuinely help and some of the things to look out for. Then we'll actually take you into AI Assistant and show you what it is, the thinking behind it, and again, why we built it. And we'll cover how to get started with plenty of time for questions at the end. So take it away, Penny.
Awesome. Thank you, David. It's my absolute pleasure to walk you through BoardPro's approach to AI. And so it was very important to us that we based our AI offering around the key principle of augmentation, not automation. So at its core, this is around making directors more expert, not replacing their judgment. So fiduciary duty stays with the board. You can delegate tasks, but not accountability. And so we built AI Assistant around that fact. So we are seeing some competitors kind of leaning into autonomous AI, and we're intentionally choosing to do the opposite. So the AI Assistant is not designed to be a substitute for director judgment. It won't make governance decisions, but what it will do is help you prepare, grounded in your own kind of governance data so that you walk into every meeting as an expert. Oh, and so what that means, okay, can you hear me better now? Yes, cool. So you verify, AI accelerates. So you stay accountable for what goes to the board. The AI just gets you there to get faster. So this is deliberate. So governance work has consequences and trust matters the most. Then it's grounded in your data. So this is the big one. Unlike ChatGPT or generic AI tools, our AI draws on your board's own documents, your minutes, your papers, your decisions. Every answer traces back to a source that you can click. And the last one there is invisible, not invasive. So there's no prompt engineering. There's no new tab to open. AI surfaces when you want it. And if you don't want it, you don't have to see it. So this is just kind of a small insight into our thinking before we show you the actual product.
Thanks, Penny. And now we'll jump inside the boardroom with Helen.
Beautiful, thank you. I think this slide really sums up what it's like being on the other side of the boardroom table at the moment. The packs definitely keep getting longer, and the real constraint for us as directors isn't access to the content. It's the synthesis, it's the judgment. It's trying to find the signal amongst everything that's come in. I don't know about you, but I'll often get board packs that are sort of 200-300 pages long. And that's the type of work that AI can really support. But equally, and I'm going to very much be the care cop, I guess, in this, it's the work that can really be quietly undermined if we're not careful. And I think what Penny was talking about just then around the framing with which BoardPro has built this tool is so important, because it means that as directors, we can use the tool really well. And I was very lucky to be on the beta testing for this tool, so I have had quite a lot of time to play with it and learn how it works, and I've got nothing but good things to say about it. But it is a tool that if we work with well, it can really help us. So if we look at the governance pulse survey that BoardPro put out last month, and I shared the results of that in a webinar last month, 79% of directors are actually already using AI on a weekly basis, but less than 10% are feeling confident using it. So we've got this high adoption on the one side and low confidence on the other side. And Onboard did a survey similarly, and they found that nearly 70% of board professionals are using AI in their board work in the last 6 months. But the problem again is people are using it in a private, in their chat GPT, it's informal, it's not sitting within the company's policy. So the question isn't about whether directors are using it, it's whether that use is visible, if it's disciplined, really importantly, if it's accountable. And that's really important to hold, because that's where this is actually landing. So looking at the next one, we've talked about productivity, but we also really need to talk about judgment. For me, I think one of the biggest things with AI is actually using it as a perspective engine. And I often look at it and say, look, it's showing different sides of the dice. So it might say, what am I missing? What would a risk lens say, or a customer, a regulator, a skeptical director? And so AI isn't replacing my judgment necessarily, but it's really improving the quality of the thinking that I can bring to that judgment. But the thing is, AI is always going to agree with you. And there's so many studies, including one in Science in March this year, which is showing that your model is going to agree with everything you say, and it's going to agree with it far more than a human would, even when that user is wrong. So it's really telling you what you want to hear, which is sycophancy, and that's happening at scale because it's always going to agree with you. So whereas a human's just going to front up and say that doesn't make sense, which hopefully your other directors will do around the table, your AI is likely to agree. So having a perspective engine is really great, and having this tool is really great, but you need to make sure that you're getting it to argue with it and use it to challenge your thinking, not just to confirm it, and to make sure that you're carrying that through that whole workflow. So whether that's before the meeting for the exec team using AI in the prep, during the meeting, or even including after the meeting as well. So final thing from me is around the piece, and again, Penny talked about it earlier, AI is supporting your judgment, not replacing it. So when, as directors, we're relying on a decision being challenged, we've got that protection around safe harbor. But to claim safe harbor, we need to have shown that we've exercised that genuine judgment, and we've reasonably relied on the information that is in front of us. So right at the end of last month, Chief Justice Andrew Bell did a lecture at Melbourne Uni, and in that he was asking about if AI is shaping a decision, who's accountable? And the answer is, if a director just adopts that AI recommendation without your own reasoning, you are not sitting in the safe space where the law is requiring you to. So it's really important to make sure that as directors, as Penny said, we are constantly using AI as a tool to help us, but we are also applying our own judgment. We can use that technology to assist our comprehension, and there's been an Australian court case about this recently, but it can't replace us. Equally, in the US, we had a case earlier this year where a CEO used ChatGPT to come up with a takeover strategy. All of his exchanges with ChatGPT actually became trial exhibits, and the strategy failed, cost the company $250 million. Now, if he'd called a lawyer, then that conversation would have been privileged and protected, but unfortunately, he used his ChatGPT, so it was fair game. So although some of your conversations are private, if you're in the right system and it's an enterprise level one, if you're just on your own ChatGPT, then it is not. So just make sure that when you are using AI, use it in a safe place like the BoardPro portal, and make sure that you are continuing to apply your own judgment over just what it's coming up with in terms of that. So as I said, I was very lucky to be a beta tester for this assistant. It's grounded in your own board documents. It's showing the sources. It's in that secure governed environment. So it is giving you a really good, better informed starting point, and you can see what it's drawing on and what it's testing. It's not making the judgment, and it definitely shouldn't. That's going to stay with you. And so with that, I am going to pass you back over to the team who are going to take you through the actual process and how the technology and how it works, which is really cool. I just wanted to give that judgment piece as a fronting at the beginning.
Right, thank you so much, Helen. Alrighty, so now let's take a look at how this insight and vision is actually brought to life within BoardPro. So right from the start, we set out to build an AI product that was genuinely valuable and solves real-world governance problems, not just AI for the sake of it, which is really what we're seeing now in the market. So from our research, we found that the top 3 pain points that just kept coming back were, effectively navigating increasing volumes of data, accessing historical context, and building confidence in governance best practice on top of all the, I suppose, the foundational security concerns that we were hearing. So with those pain points in mind, let's look at how Assistant can help. And we'll start off simply. We'll just tell you where you can find it within BoardPro. So from our dashboard screen here, we'll head over to one of our organization pages on the left, and then you'll see this nice little Ask AI button up in the top right, handily sitting where you work. It pops out in a side panel, and you'll see here at the top, we've got some of the common actions we would kind of call them. So one is your conversation history with a limit of just really the 30 threads, the last conversations that you've had with AI. You can start a new chat just by clicking this button here, and that saves the previous conversation back to that chat history. And you can maximize the window too, which we find a really useful tool, especially given how lengthy and detailed some of the responses can be. And you can obviously close it too, which again saves the history and puts it into that chat history window. So let's put it to work. Opening it up again, you'll see we've got some getting started prompts down here. These are just a good way to get you started, particularly if you're heading into it fresh and want to see what it can do. So we'll click this one, what actions are outstanding from the last meeting, and just give our assistant a moment to work through the response. It's obviously searching through your organization's data at the moment, and it generates a response for us. You'll typically see this format return as well, like they'll be broken out into helpful sections, often some light recommendations there too. So you can see all the actions outstanding from our last May meeting. And one thing I really just want to call attention to too, which Helen touched on, is that ability for Assistant to cite its sources. So unlike some of the more generic tools, you're actually able to navigate back to where that information came from, which is really important given the context we're working in here. So we've clicked back into our May meeting, and if we just scroll down, we'll be able to see those documents that are attached there. So basically, it's really hitting that positioning for us of you verify and AI accelerates. Now let's try a bespoke prompt. So we head over to our documents view, open AI again, and let's go with what are all the open actions which are assigned to me. And we'll let AI just process that for us. And now you'll see that list returned of all the open actions assigned to you. So this is, again, the kind of thing that used to take quite a significant amount of time. Like certainly if you're looking back through paper-based documents, you'd be drawing through for hours. And obviously, even with the best software, it can be tricky to find some of that information. Importantly, too, we've really got those one-click references back to the sources too. And one really cool thing with Assistant that we find is that you can focus the context in. So again, a differentiator from those tools which are kind of more generic, your ChatGPTs or Geminis. You can open a specific business plan, and then you'll see here now in the context window down here, we've locked that to the specific document as opposed to the entire organization. So really good if you're just in that flow of wanting to interrogate a specific document. So if we just put a prompt in here, you'll note that you'll just see that the response will come back grounded in this specific context. And there we go. It's giving us a little bit of a summary. And you'll see the source obviously is the specific document here as well. So it's come back up a few times, but it's just telling us that it's only been looking at this document. And one question that I know will probably come up at the end as well, which is that is your org data used to train the AI model? And we don't train third-party models with our prompts documents or board data. So that's one of the differences between this and pasting your papers into a free, like publicly available AI tool account. So that's just a brief look at BoardPro's AI assistant. Obviously, there's a whole lot more you can do with it. We built it deliberately from the start to augment your thinking, not replace your judgment. As I said, it only works with the documents you have access to, so your permissions are respected by design. And what you get back is real. It's context built in minutes, important detail at your fingertips, and confidence to walk into every meeting as the expert in the room. So give it a go. We think you'll feel the difference in your very next board pack. And more from me, how to get started. So obviously, if you're an existing customer, AI Assistant's available now on our Premium and Ultimate plans. If you're on Essentials, just have a chat to our CS team about what upgrading might look like for you. And if you're new to BoardPro, you can start a 14-day free trial and give Assistant a go right now. So let's just open the floor now to questions. I can see some are coming in. Remember, it's just that Q&A box in the bottom of the screen down there. All right, let's do one for Penny here. So Penny, do all members of BoardPro have access to the AI Assistant, or do you have to pay extra to have the capability per user?
Yeah, so anyone who is on the Premium or Ultimate plan will have that available. So it'll already be in the top right-hand side of your screen. So yeah, anyone within those plans will get the AI Assistant.
Thank you. Another one for you too. Can you summarize from all the boards committees or only one at a time?
Yeah, so at the moment it's just at a per board level, but we're really intrigued whether you do want this across committees as well. So if that is what you kind of would like for your organization, can you just keep feeding that back? Because that tells us and informs us what our kind of next step will look like. So not at the moment, it's ring-fenced around per board, but if that's something that we will look at in the future.
Thank you. And one for Eugene here. So a little similar theme, but is the AI available with the same context for all directors, or is it specific to me?
Yes, so same directors, yes. So the other people in your organization have the same level of document access. We use the exact same access controls to feed the AI.
Right. And one for Penny. So if you're searching for open actions, if you're on several boards or committees, will the AI search across all of those?
Yeah, so similar to before, it'll search across your board. It will not search across your committees at this point. Yeah.
I mean, I think either of you can take it, but let's give it to Eugene. So how do we know the results, for example, actions assigned to me are correct and can be relied on?
Cool. So that one there, you probably want to double check it. Definitely do that. And the sources should be available within the same chat message. I think I see another one here about the data residency. I sort of just lost it. So currently, we use Azure OpenAI, and that's in the Australia East region. What we're finding is we're exploring tools all the time and latest models to see how that affects the product quality. So the latest list will always be found on our website. If you go to boardpro.com, you'll see the AI providers list there. And at the moment, the one that we use is Azure OpenAI in Australia East.
Right. Probably one here for Penny. Can you upload a paper for review into AI before adding it as part of the board pack?
Yes, you can. We've kind of got two contexts. There's kind of one that goes across your board, and then one that is specific to your board pack or document.
And one for you, Helen. We won't leave you out here. So Steve says the judgment piece that Helen spoke through was very insightful. Is it possible to get this as a short statement that we can use to enable discussions with board members to encourage them to use the AI in BoardPro and not their own AI agent?
Yeah, I'm sure we can provide a sort of a one-liner, but I mean, ultimately, shadow AI is one of the biggest risks for boards that you should be governing from an AI perspective. And shadow AI is your directors and not just within your organization. If you're uploading your board information into an external tool where there's no governance and controls, you're basically showing all of your company's confidential information into their training model. So not a way you would want to go forward. And I would just say that your directors need to be adhering to your internal AI policy in the same way that your team does.
Thank you. All right. And one for you, Penny. I can see the assistant needs to be enabled first. Is that correct?
Yes. So in the top right-hand corner, you'll see that Ask AI button. If you have admin capabilities, then you will be able to turn that on for your organization. If you do not, it will prompt you to ask your admin to turn it on for you, and that will enable all users across the organization. Whether they want to use it or not is up to them, but it's a global switch, so that will turn off all AI capability on.
Thank you. And Eugene, if someone has edited a document with personal questions in the board pack, does the AI assistant look at those comments as well, or only the original document?
So it'll be the original document at the moment, and it'll be the latest version of whichever document it is. So you might have multiple revisions on a board pack. At the moment, we don't have those annotations in there, but that's a good shout. Thank you.
Thank you. And Penny, I know a popular one that we've often discussed quite a bit. Do you have an ETA on AI minute taking?
Yeah, so it's always one of those hot topics. So yeah, this isn't something that the AI assistant does today, but we have that as kind of next up. It's in active development at the moment. So within, you never want to make hard promises, but within the next few months, you will be able to see AI minutes inside BoardPro. So what that will look like is if this is a format that's helpful, we'll do another webinar that will walk you through what that functionality will look like. And go from there.
Can I just jump in on that one as well? There is a webinar that we did with BoardPro 3 or 4 months ago about using AI for minutes. If you are using an external tool for your AI minutes at the moment, please go back and watch that, because again, as a director, there is a whole load of risks around so many, but our individual directors having multiple versions of the minutes that they've recorded on their own tools, which one of those would hold up in court? Are you, if you've got a confidential, protected conversation and you've got AI in there, there's no legal precedent at the moment to say whether AI is breaching that wall. There's a whole load of stuff about discoverability, cyber risk, etc. So don't just jump in and start using an AI tool for board minutes without thinking about it. There's some really good resources out there, but BoardPro has done a webinar on it that I spoke on a few months ago. So I'm sure Sean will post the link to that as part of the conversation.
Thanks, Helen. I can see a couple of questions on the plans here too. So as I mentioned, it's only available on Premium and Ultimate. And for Paul, you're asking about the difference in price. Head over to the pricing page or have a chat to one of our CS reps who you can contact via in-app just to see what might be best for you. All right, let's keep having a look. Some great questions, by the way, so keep them coming.
There was a
Probably
question
one.
about the court
Oh,
case that I was referring to, David. So the
yes.
Australian one is ASIC versus Bekier. I don't know how you pronounce those properly. Bekier. And that was where the judge was talking about that technology can assist comprehension, but it can't displace the human judgment. And the one for the American case, I will have to look up and come back to you because I don't know that one off the top of my head, but I will come back and pop it in the notes.
Thanks, Helen. All right, one for you, Penny. Can you use Assistant to interrogate multiple documents? For example, give it a proposal document and ask if it aligns with multiple policy and strategic documents.
Yes, so because it adheres to your permissions, it has access to any of the documents that you have access to within BoardPro, and it will cite multiple different sources, so you'll be able to reference all of those.
Yeah. Probably one for you, Eugene. Where's the data relating to AI queries stored? Does it follow where the BoardPro data for the organization is stored?
Correct. Yeah, so it's the data is same as current Australia East, and all the embeddings that we store are also in Australia East Azure as well.
Correct. Thank you. I can see, Diana, you're asking about a video presentation. So we'll share the webinar recording and we'll have more material too. We've also got 2 videos on the homepage which explain BoardPro more fully, but they include Assistant for the kind of the admin view and the director view as well. So you'll find those on the homepage. Oh, this will probably test me, even though it shouldn't. Eugene, how can you tell if you're on the premium version?
That is an excellent question.
Probably
If you've got
settings on the top right.
annotations on your board pack, or potentially on the navigation bar. Penny, help me out here.
Yeah, no, I'd just say just get in touch with our CS team. So in the little support button at the top right-hand corner, you'll be able to get in there and you'll be able to find out what plan you are on. There's a question here around, does it have memory of previous chats? And is it shared with other board members when they use the tool? Eugene, do you want to answer that one?
So not shared with other board members when they use the tool, and memory of previous chats is no. So the memory stays within that same session. I see also another one here with the data from the chat history stored. So with Azure OpenAI, they retain history for 30 days, and then your chat is stored on our platform until you choose to delete it, just like basically anything else that you might save into BoardPro.
And one for you, Penny. If the board choose not to use it, can you turn it off?
Yes, yep. So there is a global AI switch that will turn it either off or on for everyone. So yes, if you don't want to use it for whatever reason, you can turn that off, but that will be for all users.
Thank you. And one for you, probably Penny as well. Will the AI function be available on mobile?
Yes, coming up, but not right now. So yeah, at the moment, it is only on our desktop app, but we are looking into our mobile app very, very soon.
Thank you. And I think we've covered this, but might be worth just touching on again in case someone's missed it. So if you've got historical papers saved in the document repository, it searches those too. Yes, it does. Not sure if you want to add anything else, Penny or Eugene, to that.
No, that's probably just where it works best, when you've got a whole bunch of stuff that has been stored there, and we know that yeah, lots of people have heaps of documents in there and it can be hard to find and surface things. So being able to surface those through AI Assistant and then interrogate it is one of those main use cases.
Thank you. And I think, Helen, I'm not sure if we answered this one with you, is the gap analysis example and other analysis options based on a best practice document of that type? Oh, actually, it's probably one for Penny, sorry.
I was thinking I don't know the answer to that one.
Yes.
Sorry, David, could you repeat that?
Sorry, is the gap analysis example we used in the live prompt, as well as the other analysis options, are they based on best practice documents of that type?
Yes, so there's not a specific, it's not ring fenced around specific templates that we have provided. So it uses your own documents, and then because we're on OpenAI for Azure, it also has a snapshot of the internet at that time. So it draws from different places to give kind of best practice knowledge. So not specific templates.
But one thing I would add is when I was testing it, I would say, I don't know, you're Warren Buffett, you're looking at this financial plan. What would you pull apart in it? So get it to assume a different persona or character and act as the expert in that, and then get it to come back at it. And so it's got all of the knowledge and skill of a large language model, but just within your own environment, which is really powerful.
Right, thank you. And I can see one here from Michelle. Can you give examples of prompts that go beyond search? It can do quite a lot, as you've probably seen with many AI assistants. So we've actually got a help center guide we'll send out post meeting as well, which we've had an attempt to detail some of the things you can do with it. But obviously, we recommend just hopping in and trying it out, which it can do quite a bit.
David, there's also a couple of questions in the chat
Oh,
that you may not have spotted. One of them in there is, can you send out an AI policy? So I'm sure, again, that's something that Sean could do. We'll pop the link into that, because there is one that BoardPro has in place that you can adapt for your own boards.
Also getting some recommendations too. So Jess says, I've already used BoardPro AI to write minutes in the style of the existing minutes, and it worked pretty good. So that's good to hear. Thank you.
There's also a bunch of kind of feature requests in here, which is really good, because we're, as a product team, always really keen to hear that. So please keep sending those through. That helps us iterate on this product. We're wanting to see what usage looks like and if it's helpful in solving problems. So as you use it and you're finding you want it to do more or change in certain ways, please keep feeding it through. It's super helpful for us to keep iterating.
This one, oh no, let's take that one for now. Another one, for you, probably for you, Penny, can you select which document folders can be included or excluded from the assistant's knowledge base?
No, not at this point. But again, if that's something that you are interested in, please let us know. At the moment, it just is ring fenced around whatever you have access to, but that could be everything of all time. So yeah, at the moment, it's not anything. You can't specifically choose which documents you go into.
Great, thank you. Let's do a couple more. Probably one for you, Eugene. How long does AI Assistant take to warm up?
Oh, that's a good question. In the sense that when you first join as an organization, you'll have a sort of the initial answers won't be as rich because it won't have as much of your board documents to sort of be grounded with. In terms of general day-to-day chat, it does vary. Sorry, it's an annoying answer. It does vary based on sort of load at the time. There are some also additional sort of safeguards and guardrails that are in place. That does mean our version will be slightly slower than what you might experience in the sort of publicly available ones as well.
Thanks, Eugene. And Penny, can you download the answers to Word?
Can you so copy the response text into Word? Yes, you can. And we're just working on a little improvement there that'll keep the same formatting. So at the moment, it will be plain text, and probably in a week you'll see it in the formatted structure. David, one that keeps coming up, Eugene kind of mentioned it before, but I'll just reiterate. Although it has access to documents that are shared obviously between you and your other board members, your chats are private to you. So anything you're typing in there, it's only for you as the person using it, and no one else.
Thank you. I think we can probably wrap that up now, unless any of our panelists have anything else to add.
No, but there's lots of good questions here. So if we didn't get to yours, we will make sure that we give you an answer and send that through after the webinar.
Great. So, as Penny just mentioned, you'll get an email from us very shortly, which will have a recording of today's webinar, the transcript and the presentation slides, and we'll make an effort to get to all of your questions as well. And just as you leave, don't forget to take the tiny little 1-minute survey just to go in the draw for our hamper. We'll announce the winner shortly after the webinar today. And if you're considering board management software for your organization, we'd love to hear from you. Better still, why not try the 30-day free trial? Simple, straightforward, no credit card required, and easy to get started with AI Assistant. So thanks for your attendance today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope you enjoyed hearing from our speakers. And thanks, Helen, for joining us too. Have a great day.